All right. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Wednesday, and I just wanted to quickly share today's mini lesson. It's lesson 2 of the week. It's a quick one, so just wanted to go over that with you so that you're set for your nonfiction reading today. Turn this to screen share and pull up what you're doing. All right, so today's mini lesson is called Translating My Symbols, my nonfiction symbols into words. Most of you already did that yesterday with the practice sheet. So ideally, if you're reading a nonfiction text, it's really easier if it's printed out or a book in your hand. But because most of us are reading online, I think you kind of have skipped right into this next skill, which is fine. But for those of you who might have not done this yet or weren't able to complete yesterday's assignment, this is really the end goal. So as I'm reading along, and we're using this article to demonstrate, as I'm reading along, I mark a BK because I happen to have a background knowledge about how gorillas' habitats are being disrupted. So I just put that down quickly, a post-it perhaps, stick it there, and promise to come back to that. I'm moving on to the next section. I'm reading about poaching, and I put an asterisk there because I think this is going to be an important detail that I will have to know about. And as I'm reading this section, I underline the word deforestation and poachers because those are the most important things that I'm going to have to know about related to this particular subtopic. And I'm reading and I'm reading and I'm reading. And down here, I left myself one more note, one more symbol, and it's the number sign. Because as I was reading, I thought that this number, 125,000, is really important, that I'm going to have to come back to that because that's how many gorillas remain at the present time. That's the number of their population. So the goal is I would then take those stickies with the symbols and then go beyond just coding that text. I would then write in about the thoughts about it, right? So we can write about the symbols that we used while we were reading, and this shows us what we were thinking while we were reading. So the hope is that I'm not slowing down my reading while I'm coding it. I can code it and then come back and fill in those codes, those symbols. So BK, I already knew this, that 80% of the world's forests have been destroyed, right? Just because of other things I've read related to the earth. So that would be, my background knowledge about, how their habitats are being disrupted. I already knew that the earth's forests are in danger. I starred up the word deforestation because I thought that this is going to be a really important word that I'm going to have to know about. And remember, I underlined that word deforestation because I decided, this is the most important thing that I read on the whole page that talks about why gorillas are in threat. Down below, I noticed an important number, right? I put a hashtag or number sign there for the number of gorillas that are left. And then I also made some other number notes from that chart, right? So again, most of you, and really with the practice yesterday, we kind of fast forwarded right to this skill, but I want to make sure that you, if it's easier for you to do it in this order, that you certainly can. You can read and take down the symbols first, and then after you're done reading, stop, think, and go back and fill in my symbols with words. Some of you might prefer to stop and jot completely. You might stop, write down BK, and then while it's fresh in your mind, put it down right then and there, and that's fine too. Alrighty, so that's really it for today's skill. It's just, again, translating symbols into words and doing that in the order that best fits you. Alrighty, so while I also have your attention here, I just wanted to remind you that yesterday we were to read an article on a new website here called ReadWorks. So really had poor numbers come back yesterday. So if you didn't get a chance to do it yesterday for whatever reason, and I understand life happens, those are going to be some of those days, but I just wanted to remind you, this is the article. It was called Elephant Tales. It's a nonfiction article, obviously. Oh, hold on, that's not the right thing. Go back. So those are my friends who did do it. And with that article, we were then, I have a little visitor coming downstairs here. With that little article, we were supposed to fill in a mock practice of 3 Post-its. So that was, where did it go? No. I have all of yours that I see, as you can tell. Here it is. And so it seemed like there was some confusion here. So just to show you what was the expectation here, this first slide was just to, again, remind you of some of the codes that we talked about, some of the symbols. Right, so during and after reading Elephant Tales on ReadWorks, please complete 3 Post-it notes coding with symbols and a quick jot. So that's really today's skill, right? Taking a symbol and attaching it with words. So after you read that Elephant Tales article, the hope was that you would then fill in these 1, 2, 3 Post-its. You may choose to put a BK on one because you have background knowledge about something. You might choose to put a hashtag here because you've read an important number that you wanted to jot down. And maybe the third one, you put a connection symbol because you made a text to self connection. You read something in the article that reminds you of something from your life, right? But really, that was entirely up to you which symbol you chose and what you may have written down related to the article. All right, so if you get that back today, or if you didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, that's really what I was looking for. You weren't to touch this first slide. This is really just there so that you didn't have to flip around much to find those codes. And then again, as I was reading Elephant Tales, I was filling in 1, 2, 3 Post-its with either with a symbol from these choices, and then filling in my thoughts related to that. Okay. All right, my friends. I also am attaching an Ivan video today. And we're redoing the skill of theme. I'm going to put some possibilities for theme that I think could be choices, but you certainly can add some more if you have other ideas as well. Remembering, a theme is a lesson that Ivan, our main character, learns by the end of the book, which we're really coming close to the end. What did Ivan learn from his experience? And then pulling out from that, what does that then teach us about life? All right, so I know this is always a tricky one, but really take your time today and think about it because so much has happened. All right, talk to you later.